Goodbye, Norma Jean. No, I never knew you at all. You had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawled. They crawled out of the woodwork and they whispered into your brain. They set you on the treadmill and they made you change your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Loneliness was tough, the toughest road you ever played. Hollywood created a superstar, and fame was the price you paid. Even when you died, oh, the press still hounded you. All the papers had to say was that Marilyn was found in the news. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Goodbye, Norma Jean. Though I never knew you at all, you had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawled. Goodbye, Norma Jean, from the young man in the 22nd row who sees you as something more than sexual, more than just our Marilyn Monroe. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before the legend ever did. Candle burned out long before the legend ever did.
You are so beautiful. To me, you are so beautiful. To me, can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. To me, you are so beautiful. To me, can't you see? You're everything I hope for, everything I need. You are so beautiful to me.
Look at this face, I know the years are showing. Look at this life, I still don't know where it's going. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Look at these eyes, they've never seen what matters. Look at these dreams, so big and so better.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. So many questions still left unanswered. So much I've never broken through.
And when I feel you near me, sometimes I see so clearly the only truth I've ever known is me and you.
Look at this man, so blessed with inspiration. Look at this soul, still searching for salvation. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. But I know I love you. That may be all I need to know. I don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be all there is to know. Whoa.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. shadows on the hills. Sketch the trees and the daffodils. Catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you, but still your love was true. And when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met, the ragged men in ragged clothes, a silver thorn, a bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. When you've got worries, all the noise and the hurry seems to help, I know. Downtown, just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose? The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure. Downtown, everything's waiting for you. Downtown. Don't hang around and let your problems surround you. There are movie shows downtown Maybe you know some little places to go to where they never close. Downtown, just listen to the rhythm of a gentle bossa nova. You'll be dancing with them too before the night is over. Happy again. The lights so much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares. So go downtown, where all the lights are bright. Downtown, waiting for you tonight. Downtown, you're gonna be alright now. Downtown, and you may find somebody kind to help and understand you. Someone who is just like you and needs a gentle hand to guide them along. So maybe I'll see you there. We can forget all our troubles, forget all our cares. So go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. Don't wait a minute more. Downtown, everything's waiting for you. Downtown,
Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. For the morning sun and all its glory greets the day with hope and comfort too. You fill my life with laughter, and somehow you make it better. Ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and it's yours and it's mine like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and pray to the one, to the one. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is
spring becomes the rose.
Like roses blooming, soft and sweet, your love made all our lives complete. In every flower, every breeze, we feel your presence, calm and peace. Today we come to honour a truly special lady, a wife, a mother, grandmother and great-grandmother, a sister and a friend. Today we meet as a group of people who have known, loved and respected Elaine Dorothy Lee. We recognise her time among us has ended. We meet to mourn, maybe shed a tear or two, embrace each other and speak of her, about her love for making people happy, being a good listener, her garden, and most of all, you, her family and friends. My name is Peter, and on behalf of myself and the team here at Parkside Funerals, I'd like to thank Elaine's sons, Bill and Brett, their partners Jill and Sue, and their families for allowing us the privilege of caring for Elaine and for guiding you through this day of remembrance. I'd like to extend a warm welcome not only to all of you here today, but to those joining us via live stream. Whether you are near or far, your presence is felt and your love for Elaine is shared in this moment. Following our time here, you are warmly invited to join the family for refreshments here at Parkside. A chance to share stories, memories, and the laughter that Elaine so often inspired. We will then proceed to the Flowerdale Cemetery, where we will lay Elaine to rest beside her dearly loved husband, Bill. Whether you know her as Mum, Nan Lee, Sissy, or simply by Elaine, you know her no-fuss, patient, calm and selfless nature would not like being the centre of attention today. However, her almost 93 years deserve to be spoken about and celebrated. Elaine's eulogy has been carefully crafted by her family, and I would like to invite her son Bill forward to share it with us now.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you on behalf of all our family members for coming today to share this special day and celebrate the life of Elaine Dorothy Lee, sis, sissy, auntie, and friend to lots of people. Today's not about saying goodbye, it's about celebrating her 92 years and 10 months of laughter, love, mischief, creativity and resilience. Her life touched countless hearts and left each of us with our own stories to tell, to take forward for generations, all with embellishments, and they'll all get bigger as time goes by, based on from where she comes from. Mum was born on the 1st of October in 1932 in Smithton, Tasmania, to Jack and Camilla Gray. She was the third eldest in a big, happy family of 10 children. 1 sister and 8 brothers. What a ratio. And she was able to survive that. She grew up in a family home in 15 King Street, Smithton. Her childhood saw both the joy and challenge, and as the family endured the years of World War II through the tough economic times that followed that, and then into the 60s, 70s and 80s as the world changed dramatically. Mum lived in an era of massive change. An extract from her little red book of instructions that she left Brett and I with very specific, this is what I want and what I don't want, and managed to break a couple of those rules today, but sorry Mum. She describes her early transport, the clip-clop sound of horses pulling heavy carts. These were draft horses. Then there were the hack horses with lightweight pulling buggies transporting people. There was the odd car about. The train was the main transport between regions, and boats bringing merchandise from the mainland to Smithton, loading with timber on the return journey. Now today, Mum was amazed with how the world had changed. Cars, trucks, fast trains, planes, helicopters, rockets and in the internet, and those fang-dangled phones that people would come to visit with, and all they do was push buttons in front of her, driving her mad. But the final word was amazing. Mum is from the Grey clan of 15 King Street. A badge of honour she wore... The badge of honour worn by the sons and daughters of Jack and Millie Gray. I use the word clan because as kids, with stories from Mum and her brothers, feedback of them marauding gangs of grey kids running all over Smithton, causing great chaos. And as the years have gone by and family gatherings, these stories have got bigger and bolder and more powerful of the things and the exploits that they actually took part in those days, and don't always let the truth get in the way of a good story. Sissy and Auntie Sis, as she was known to her siblings and nieces and nephews, had a remarkable bond. So just not beyond our close family, everyone who'd met her had a story and have told me stories of how much she was loved. Mum's school days, a bit of a jousting between me and her over the years, that she actually did attend school, and I'd say, well, maybe not. But Mum loved her school days attending the Smithton State School, where she made some lifelong friends with a number of the girls. But based on revelations shared with Brett and I over the years, seemed to fall foul of teachers often getting into trouble for talking too much. She denied that was the case, but knowing Mum and her ability to have a bit of a chatter, I think the teachers were in the right. She vowed and she loved the school, but she hated the military inspection of hands, nails and dress inspection. One area that Mum's education took was French, and this has become a bit of a family legend, that she was in the French class, and Mum recalled with great pride of her command of the French language. She had aspirations to strut the streets of Paris in her dreams, and speaking French to the locals was part of that great dream. But that all came to a sudden halt when the French teacher, who was using over-expressive facial expressions to speak French, caused Mum to burst into hysterics and couldn't stop laughing. And she was abruptly kicked out of the French class, not to return. Her strength for French was "où est le papier?" Where is the paper? Was something that she bragged about over that time. As fate would have it, I suffered a similar fate in grade 8 when I also got kicked out of French with a group of boys for also laughing at the French teacher. Hereditary, it's in the genes. Her sporting career was confined to her teenage years. She played basketball, that she called it, netball today, on blue metal courts and some at Smithton, and there was some fiercely fought hockey. But I think there was quite a bit of the fiercely fought was most of the thing, was clashes with other ladies and girls that she either didn't like or they didn't like her. And in the netball courts, Mum would say, yeah, some of them would go home and they'd have to pick a bit of bluestone rock out of their bloody knees after the game. So she was fairly physical in that area. Mum had a passion for drawing and sketching and started at an early age. And that was confirmed in 1945 Circular Head Chronicle article where she won an award for watercolour landscape judged at the Smithton Red Cross Industrial Show. Mum's love of sketching, drawing, poem writing, ditties has continued right through to recently, and I'm sure Mum, who knew Mum well, had seen her little drawings and large drawings and little ditties that she's about to come up with, and ditties that her father had taught her when she was young. Not all repeatable today. Mum left school in grade 9 to help out, and her first job was at the Duck River Butter Factory, where she had the dap hand of wrapping the block of cheese. and had great pleasure with anyone who wanted to watch at the kitchen table her folding the Duck River square block of butter in high speed. She also had a job at the dry cleaners in Smithton, which also then led on to her passion of steel coat hangers that were to be found in large quantities throughout the house. The 40s and 60s eras, going to a dance or a fundraising gala was nearly a weekly event. Smithton and Stanley dances were all the rage, and Mum's love of sewing at that time was put to the fore because you had to have a new dress or a frock to go to these big functions on this particular time. It was common in those days for these events to be reported in the local newspaper, and it's quite a number of notations of Miss Elaine Gray attending and wearing a new frock of some sort. In 1953, my father had moved to Smithton in the early 50s, and he was driving bulldozers and trucks and clearing at the Britton Swamp. Mum recalled that he was very handsome, but he thought he was a bit gorgeous, and that's directed at one particular person. A bit of a catch. Thought he was James Dean, a Hollywood actor. He used to strut his stuff. So she said she gave him a bit of the cold shoulder initially because he couldn't have it all his own way. They started going out in late 52, were engaged in July 1953, and he spent a lot of time with the Gray clan at 15 King Street during that time. They were married in June 54 at St Stephen's Church of England in Smithton, with lots of the family members from both sides making up the wedding party. The wedding party, just as a note, leaving the church, there's a wedding party of all the family group, mum and dad at the front, and there's a random little girl in the photo who happened to be walking past who just decided to jump in the photo. Mum did say her name, but I can't remember what it was, but there she was propped up with a little hat on. 1961, they moved to Boat Harbour Beach, where they lived in a 40-foot caravan. Dad had bought a caravan at that stage, and that was positioned at Boat Harbour at the Western Bay, where the car park is there. They lived there for about 12 months, and Mum hated it at the end of the day because it was a tight, confined space. It was windy, it was wild, and it was a bit of a tough time. And then with the planning that was happening and me coming along in 1962, they started to look for something else. They purchased a block just as you come up out of Boat Harbour Beach on the road as you come up the hill, and it's just what's called these days Murray Elphingston's Pathway. He got a dozer, pushed in a road, put in a block, got all set to get organised to build a house, and then the council declared it a landslip area and nothing could actually happen there. So they went hunting. So they purchased the property at 1 Port Road, Boat Harbour, where they moved into about 1962, and we lived there till 1976. Brett and I were blessed growing up in a home where Mum, the one constant, as Dad worked long hours. Mum was protective and fun-loving and ensured we had a carefree, happy home life. We were products of the 60s, grew up in the 70s and 80s with a carefree freedom. We were able to enjoy friends, family, school, sport filled our days. We had it pretty good, and Mum made sure we did. Just before my teens, when I was starting to head into a bit of a smart aleck phase, Mum said something to me in the backyard. I gave her a little bit of lip, and I said, when she looked like she was coming to threaten me, she said, "You can't catch me." So I bolted down the yard, put about 50 metres between me and her, and I thought, yep, I'm clear. I turned round, she grabbed me and said, "Gotcha." I found out in later years, she said if you'd gone another 2 or 3 metres, you were free. There was no more left. So some key memories of that time, Brett and I standing up at the Boat Harbour Beach corner, throwing rocks at the telegraph pole insulators and dangling our legs on a post there waiting to catch the bus either to Wynyard to go shopping or down to Smithton to see family and members down there. Our mates were always welcome, and hot dogs and chips were the go-to food on visits from all of those, and they was a staple diet for many years after football and sporting events. And Mum could make fun out of anything. As the friends, family and grandkids can attest, Mum loved to name everything. From animals, ducks, cats, dogs, garden ornaments to cars. These things needed to have their own identity and personality. An example of that, two of the cars that Mum drove, and Mum was by far not one of the world's greatest drivers, but it was an FB Holden, got the nickname of Freddie Boy, and a blue Valiant we had was called Roy Boy. Anyone that's visited home would have known the masking tape. The tools of trade was masking tape, post-it notes and Sharpie pens. So with these tools of trade, Mum could repair anything, build anything, send notes of communication to anyone and everybody, and in particular make sure that we had notes for Bill, Jill, Sue and myself, that these are the items that she's been thinking, these are the things that need to be addressed. Mum had a wicked sense of humour. It was a humour that was relaxed, calm and polite in the right company, but could also slip across the other side and be naughty. That's probably the right word. And she blamed her brothers for that and her father for the naughty stuff. But to watch her come together with people and have her own sense of humour and fun with that individual person was just, from our perspective, amazing. A visit to home always included a cup of tea, elbows on the table, and a shared Cadbury Crown biscuit or something else that was in the cupboard. And if you weren't into tea, it was the Ribena bottle, which was always had to be filled. As an artist and a poet and a storyteller and a bush carpenter and an abstract artist, Mum performed many miracles. It was not uncommon when you visited that she would take people on the tour to show them one of her many creations that she'd set up in the garden and where she'd gathered all sorts of things from around the paddock, in the shed, and one of the things was a diff out of a car that was out the back, and my question was, how did you move it there? She said, don't worry about that. Just look at that. She had the ability to have the initiative and ingenuity to do anything when she put her mind to it. A story that was reminded of recently was from her friend and neighbour Kay. Mum's ingenuity had no bounds. Dad liked a little nip of whiskey, and one evening, some considerable time back, a mate of his came and they drank the bottle of whiskey. He quickly said to Mum, you better go to the cupboard and grab us another bottle. And Mum said, no, can't. No, it's all right. Yeah, no, there's more in the cupboard. And Mum took him aside and said, well, there's no more left. And he said, well, the last 6 Christmases you've given me a bottle of whiskey. And Mum said, well, I've rewrapped the same one. So the evening finished. Mum had an extended time looking after Dad when he fell ill, and she did it tough. And Jill introduced her, whether for a good thing, according to my grandkids, who, when they see the dolls, look at it in horror, but introduced to the world of creating ceramic dolls from scratch. We've got some examples here of the Christmas carolers sitting here in front of us. They had great fun in dressing them or building them from scratch, in Mum's words, titivating with them and trooping around the northwest coast to the second-hand shops looking for things that she could dress them in and do them up. And I think there's about 80 odd sitting in the rumpus room, and there's probably about the same still in boxes that haven't been finished. All the grandkids gave Mum great joy. They all have stories of adventures they have had, and listening to them to the last few days of their own little adventures they've had, and they've all got those memories that they could too. one of the things that Mum would just let them run mad, get the chairs and the stools out and all the rugs that she possessed and turn the lounge room into a complete tent city. From the thank you perspective, Mum has been very lucky where she's lived, and she's had some magnificent neighbours. And to Kay and Wally from our family, thank you very much. To all the brothers that have been a constant companion at her side, we thank you very much. And to Neville and Leslie in recent times, and Neville, the work you've done with Mum, it's amazing. To Jill, thank you very much for how you've cared for our mother. And Brett, for being there constantly, thank you. All that knew Mum would have noted her ability to hold and recount her memories, one of her most favourite things. What she could remember was beyond belief. She was a sounding board for advice, and you could trust that anything you shared with her stayed in her lockbox. Although she did have an annoying tendency to say to you when you visited, "Oh, there's something I need to tell you." A moment would pass by, no, I really can't tell you that now. And that's been a tough gig. Mum knew today would be a sad occasion, so in her little red book of instructions that she'd given to Brett and I and the family, she'd listed those out, and Mum cheekily had written at the final words, "My thoughts are with you all today on this sad occasion." So Mum's wish is for all of us to be a bit sad, but ultimately cherish your memories. Brett and I and our families wish for today to reflect on the joy Elaine, Sis, Mum and Nan brought to our lives and the memories she gave us all over that period of time. So today we're saying goodbye. We can take comfort in knowing Mum's life was rich in love, laughter and purpose. She has touched every person she has met in some way through a warm smile, a joke and a kind word. She leaves us with a legacy of creativity, humour, resilience and unconditional love. Mum, thank you for the 92 years and 10 months of lessons, laughter and love. We will carry your spirit with us always. Rest peacefully. You've more than earned it.
The world has truly lost a remarkable lady, and thank you, Bill, for bringing us those words. If you have a nan, she'd be the one you'd want. The resounding words of grandchildren, Kelly, Bronnie, William, Brittany, Stuart, Rihanna, and Elaine's great-grandchildren. I'd like to invite Rihanna forward now to share with us some memories made by Nan Lee.
I've got my Ribena and I've got my PK gum. Nan said to me one day that if I was to say something at a funeral, what would it be? And I said, Nan, I'd break myself a glass of Ribena and I'd pop myself a piece of PK gum and I'd say, well, I never. Sorry, here goes. Got to chew it a little bit. So, Nanny. One of Nan's most important roles and one of her favourite things was being our Nan. Nan was a real character, a rumman, witty, wise, and always ready with a sharp one-liner. She was not a witch. No, she was a witch. Not a bitch. She wasn't a genius, she was a genie's ass. But most importantly, she is the reason that we know what unconditional love is. And I don't think I've ever been as admired by anyone as we were by Nan. We were the light of her life, and she made sure that we knew it. Visiting Nan wasn't just visiting, it was entering her world, Lee Den. You'd walk up to the door and hear her signature, yoo-hoo, and see her appear behind the fly screen and say, hello, darling. And without fail, she'd say, no, leave your shoes on, because she'd have pins everywhere. You might arrive saying, I'm only here for about an hour, Nan, but 3 hours later, maybe more, you'd still be sitting at the table, elbows up, like ladies eating dainty morsels over a glass of Ribena, or a cup of Tetley, Dilma or Bushels, or maybe even a cup of coffee with a doily on top that'd last her the entire day, whichever was the flavour of the month. Of course, Nan had her classics. There was Trust tomato sangers, country cheese biscuits with cheese spread, caramel crowns, chocky royals, or a famous Nan concoction, as she would call them, like gherkin relish with cream cheese on a seaweed cicada that you would never expect to taste good, but somehow it did. But every meal must be finished off with a piece of PK gum. When it was time to hit the road, the farewells alone could take around 30 minutes. You'd get a cuddle at the chair by the table, again by the TV in the lounge room, another by the door to the entry, and another at the front door that you'd be lucky to get through, as she was always standing in the way. Finished with another hug and kiss on the veranda, and then the hand would be on the hip and the other blowing a stream of kisses while shouting out, love you, as you headed out the driveway, trying not to get scratched by all her gorgeous roses. We would all be sure to do her signature goodbye beep, 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 as you drive off onto the highway, and without a doubt, through the gaps in those trees, you'd still see her there standing on the veranda waving you off. Nan's garden was something that was truly magical, and walking through her patch of paradise was always a special adventure. It could be anything you imagined it to be, like wandering with Nan, pretending to visit the zoo, where each garden bed was a different animal enclosure, or scouting mushroom rings, ensuring you were nice and quiet so that we didn't scare the fairies. The roundabout would become the paper route, with endless trips around on a trike with a bucket full of old newspapers that Nan had wrapped ready for you to throw on the veranda on your morning paper run. Once we would tuck it out, Nan would invite the postie to come in for a cuppa. I know I'd reply, sure, Elaine, that'd be lovely. She would make sure that hot Milo was extra hot so that it took longer for you to drink. I think that might have been her way of catching a break. But walking through the garden with Nan was still magical, even though that we're now grown. Seeing her face and hearing her stories about each and every statue and its personalities, their names, a rose bush for each and every one of us, smelling the flowers and hearing the birds and the wind in the trees was such a treasure, and something that she was in awe of every day. And they're memories that each of us who have had the privilege to walk through her garden will remember very dearly. Just like her home and the games that we would play with her, and how our imagination's limitless, like her backdoor cove with the accordion door that we would pretend was an elevator. Nan even made a panel of buttons and floor levels of masking tape to use. Or the masking tape would be on the babies, Baby Sue and Baby Daisy, and making bandages with them. And the tracks for her incredible Hot Wheels collection. But of course, her kitchen has hosted that many baking and cooking lessons, lacing up your mini apron and whipping out your tiny rolling pin to make some scones that would either be smothered in some duck river butter or jam and cream, depending on the type. She was always using that little scone cutter that was made out of a cut of a tin that I think may be older than all of us grandchildren combined. Some other Nan classics is a chocolate ring cake. It was in the shape of a ring, Stu's fave. Raspberry jelly with bananas, chocky pudding, golden syrup dumplings, cornflake cookies, rock cakes, cream puffs, powder puffs, Afghans, and of course the iconic Nan's spaghetti, as simple as a tin of tomato condensed soup with spaghetti and a whole lot of cheese. But you've got to be careful when grating it because we don't know who got the skin that day, Stu. Nan didn't just teach us how to cook, she taught some of us how to tie our laces. Her veranda was a great place to learn how to skate and the importance of being able to wink, whistle and click. How to be a lady, the correct way to cut a scone, how to make a pom-pom tassel, dream catchers, but most importantly, to be ourselves and not to worry what anyone else thinks. Some special memories shared with Nan. Kelly and Bronnie loved raspberry picking, sending Will running laps around the teardrop to keep him from wrecking the house, playing on the pinball machines in the rumpus room, dressing up Tatum and Jazz and the dog and the cat in clothes, Bronnie and Kelly with the GIF scrubbing the veranda, and Kelly accidentally knocking over a statue and catching it just before the crash. Michaela with the old swing set that pinched your bum on every swing. And Remy loved Nan's skateboard that she got gifted in her late 80s to do gardening that she required knee pads to use. Stu loved the Afghans and the feuds with everyone to eat them first, and also the batch that never made it to the party as Nan left them on the roof of Uncle Nev's car. An absolute tragedy. Versing Nan in drafts. And for Brittany, a trip to the northwest coast was never complete without a visit at Nan's and her phone calls asking, well, when are you coming? Each having a branch on the tree that was claimed as our own with our names written on it with texter. Games of fish, clock solitaire and snap. And Nan's little trick of to try and get you to go snap when it wasn't time. It worked every time. One of Will's favourite memories was Nan and Pop both asleep in the lounge when Nan suddenly sneezed and her dentures went flying and hit Pop in the leg. He jumped up out of his chair in a fright. Will also loved building forts in the lounge room with Brittany out of all of Nan's knitted rugs and Nan's dice that she made out of a milk carton. Something I admired about Nan was that nothing is truly broken, and with a little bit of masking tape or duct tape, it can be brand new again. Seeing her incredible inventions like old garden tools given new purposes, or the iconic duck box, a step that she made out of some polystyrene, upholstered it originally to see ducks out the window, but was there as a staple item in the home, used for us to reach the sink or cook in the kitchen, and was still used to this day. No outfit was complete without a brooch, and every cat had to have a pom-pom, and sometimes even her thongs did too. Nan's songs like Jump, 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 Sugar Lump, or Marching Like Soldiers in the Hallway, in a line as she chanted, round and round the garden like a teddy bear, and ghosts in the garden, gurt, gurt, gurt. She never missed a birthday and always called to sing, finishing with the best hip hip you've ever heard, followed by a hooray. She treated every goodbye as though it could have been her last, and we always left feeling loved right down to our bones. There was an essence about our Nan. She was one of a kind, endlessly resourceful, endlessly creative, and endlessly loving. She was our favourite weirdie, our safe place, our proof that love can be unconditional, and I could honestly go on for eternity and not finish sharing with you all how incredible our Nan was. We're all so lucky to have experienced her love, and I'm very lucky to have been her Jackie. We'll miss the Ribena, we'll miss the Afghans, we'll miss the garden adventures, the yoo-hoos, the long visits and the even longer goodbyes. But most of all, Nan, we're really going to miss you and the way that you made all of us feel. So thanks, Nan, our weirdie. Keep bobbing. And night-night, Nanny.
Thank you, Rihanna. It's a tough job to put pen to paper and trying to put into words the incredible bond and amazing memories of your Nan, and even harder to come forward and speak them. We will now reflect on these words and those of Bill with some visual memories of photographs carefully curated by Elaine's family.
Blow me a kiss from across the room. Say I look nice when I'm not. Touch my hair as you pass my chair. Little things mean a lot. Give me your arm as we cross the street. Call me at 6 on the dot. A line a day when you're far away. Little things mean a lot. Don't have to buy me diamonds and pearls, champagne, sables, or such. I never cared much for diamonds and pearls, 'cause honestly, honey, they just cost money. Give me your hand when I've lost the way. Give me a shoulder to cry on, whether the day is bright or gray. Give me your heart to rely on. Send me the warmth of a secret smile to show me you haven't forgot. For always and ever, now and forever, little things mean a lot. Give me your hand when I've lost the way. Give me your shoulder to cry on, whether the day is bright or gray. Give me your heart to rely on. Send me the warmth of a secret smile to show me you haven't forgot. That always and ever, now and forever, little things mean a
garden party to reminisce with my old friends, a chance to share old memories and play our songs again. When I got to the garden party, they all knew my name. No one recognized me, I didn't look the same, but it's alright now. Learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. People came from miles around, everyone was there. Yoko brought her walrus, there was magic in the air. And over in the corner, much to my surprise, Mr. Hughes hidden Dylan's shoes, wearing his disguise. But it's alright now, I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da. Played them all the old songs, thought that's why they came. No one heard the music, we didn't look the same. I said hello to Mary Lou, she belongs to me. When I sang a song about a honky-tonk, it was time to leave. But it's alright now, learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da, la da da da. Someone opened up a closet door, and out stepped Johnny Be Good, playing guitar like a ringing a bell, and looking like he should. You gotta play at garden parties, I wish you would lie to luck. But if memories were all I sang, I'd rather drive a truck. But it's alright now, I learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. La da da, la da da da. And it's alright now, yeah, learned my lesson well. You see, you can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself.
Beautiful memories there for you all to cherish, and thank you for sharing those photos with us. To Elaine's family, Bill, Brett, Jill, Sue, Kelly, Bronnie, William, Brittany, Stuart, Rihanna, the great-grandchildren, and her dear brothers. Today is a day of both sadness and gratitude. Sadness because saying goodbye to someone as deeply loved as Elaine leaves an ache that nothing can truly fill. But gratitude because we were blessed to have her in our lives for so many years, shaping us with her patience, her humour, her wisdom, and her love. Elaine's home was a place where everyone felt welcome, where the kettle was always on, where laughter could be found as easily as a seat at the table. She gave her love freely and without condition, and each of us here carries pieces of her within us, in the way we care for others, in the way we find joy in simple moments, and in the way we hold family close. Grief is the price we pay for love, but it is also proof of how deeply she mattered. Even though she's no longer here in person, Elaine's love will continue to guide and comfort you. When you see her roses bloom, when you hear the laughter of children, when you sit down with a choc royal or caramel crown, you will be reminded that she is still with you, not gone, but woven forever into the fabric of your lives. May you find comfort in the memories, strength in each other, and peace in knowing that Elaine lived a life filled with love and left this world knowing she was deeply cherished. To Elaine, we thank you for the gift of your life, for the way you loved without limits and gave without counting the cost. You were the heart of your family, the steady anchor in every storm, and the safe place where we could always be ourselves. Thank you for your patience, the kind that waited without complaint and listened without judgment. You had a way of making people feel heard, understood, and valued, and your advice, when given, came wrapped in kindness and wisdom. Thank you for your humour, the quick wit, the cheeky smile, the way you could lift a heavy heart with a well-timed joke. You showed us that laughter is one of life's best remedies. Thank you for your traditions, the roses blooming in your garden, the dolls you crafted, the sewing machine humming, the chocky bickies for the grandchildren. These were not just small things. They were little acts of love that made memories we will carry forever. Thank you for your strength, for putting others before yourself, for caring so faithfully for your husband, for giving your children every opportunity in life, and for stepping in to help raise your brothers when you were still so young yourself. Thank you for your open home where no one felt like a stranger, everyone was welcome. You never gossiped, you kept people's secrets, and you made us all feel safe and at ease. You taught us that love is not just a feeling, but something you show in the way you live every day. We are better, kinder, stronger for having been loved by you. Elaine, we thank you for being exactly who you were, and we promise to keep your love alive in the way we live our lives. Elaine, thank you for the love you poured into your family, for the patience you showed, for the wisdom you shared. Thank you for your easygoing nature, your warm welcome to all who entered your home, and for making each of us feel valued and loved. You taught us to be kind, to be strong, and to find joy in the simple things. We will carry your legacy in our hearts, and we will miss you deeply. You may wonder what Elaine would say to us right now, how she would end up making us walk away with a smile. I'd like to invite Kelly forward with a poem that might be fitting.
She would say, read this like a lady, Kelly, and then she would say something very un-PG just before I did, but I'll do my best. This is one of Nan's favourite poems, or probably her favourite poem, so I'm very honoured to be able to read it. Trees. I think I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. As the chapel portion of Elaine's service comes to an end, I'd like to remind you that you're all welcome to stay here for refreshments before we make Elaine's final journey to be laid to rest at the Flowerdale Cemetery. I now invite you all to stand and join with me in concluding the service with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry, be happy. Hey, I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I make you happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile. But don't worry, be happy. Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Now there is this song I wrote. I hope you learned it note for note like good little children. Don't worry, be happy. Listen to what I say. In your life expect some trouble, but when you worry you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, don't do it. Be happy. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down like this.